Hi, I'm Toyya Braskey from Galveston, Texas. My Facebook page is Galveston's Psychic Paranormal Researcher. And from week to week, I like to come on and tell you stories about the paranormal or spiritual practices. So this week, I want to talk to you about the places that you go to find spirits or ghosts. So the first thing that I want to tell you is you don't have to go to scary places, dirty, rundown places like attics and basements and all of these buildings that you see on ghost shows where the property is completely run down and abandoned. That's such a myth because spirits are around you every minute of the day. So, what I want to tell you is yes, you can find spirits in those scary places, but I guarantee you, if you are looking for something scary and you go to those scary places, you will find it because spirits are the same personality as they've always been. So if you go to a place like a prison who is known to have antisocial, psychotic, narcissists, murderers, rapists, that is exactly the type of spirit that you are going to find there. And you may bring it home with you. In the same regard, if you go to a mental asylum looking for ghosts or spirits, don't be surprised if you bring home psychotic spirits that are going to bother you and torture you and be attached to you for a long, long, long time. If you go to a place that is satanic and you start trying to conjure and provoke those spirits, you are most certainly going to bring those home with you. But for the most part, if you are just trying to contact spirits or family, you can find them anywhere. They are in businesses, they are in the public, they are at your house, they are in the yard, they are absolutely around you at all times. I do appreciate watching the ghost shows and having them travel to locations and telling us wonderful stories about where they're located and some kind of special story. I do appreciate that, and I um, appreciate the shows that really go all out to go to people's homes and to do special stories about special locations. Um, I want to tell you that I'm the most genuine, nice, good spirited person. And in no way, shape, or form would I ever embellish or fake any of my work. This is research to me. It is so important to me to be able to prove that our spirit and our consciousness exist beyond our physical death. And I have proven that, and I'm 100% convinced that we do exist as spirits. The minute that your body dies, you rise out of your body and you are alive and you are a spirit. And I have never had a spirit tell me that they don't know that they're dead. Every spirit knows that they have passed and that they are a spirit. I have never, like on some of the ghost shows where they say, oh, the spirit doesn't know they've died. That is probably a myth, because I've never had one be confused and say, I don't know that I'm dead. They know. Spirits will always tell me they heard me call their name, or they hear their family call their name. I don't know what the connection is, but like there is always a connection, and it lasts even into the afterworld, where they are still connected to the people that they were connected to on this earth. Now, that doesn't mean that every spirit wants to reconnect with you. If you had a bad relationship, it is a myth to believe that once they cross over to the other side that they don't still have the feelings that they had when they were living. Because I've had many spirits come through and tell me I do not want to talk to that family member or that person because I still have an issue. I don't forgive them. And when that happens, I do not tell the family. I just simply say that I was unable to make contact with that spirit. I love doing this. I never do this as a scare factor. I'm not doing it for the spookiness of it. I'm doing it as real research. This is fascinating to me. I think that it is just the most exciting thing when I can go in somewhere or be right in my own home and call on a spirit and have them intelligently answer me. That is the most exciting thing that I've ever done in my life. And I know that everyone does not understand that. And it's hard to find friends or people who are like me who enjoy that type of thing. I mean, you have to really love doing this. And in my case, oh my gosh, it is like the most exciting thing to me. I will spend hours at home working on this type of work just to present it to you. In several of my clips or several of my videos, what you don't see is before and after or in between the video, where there are spirits constantly chattering and talking before the video and after the video. I'm trying to save some of those clips so that I can show you little clips of them moving my stuff, talking over the camera, talking about me or something else. Spirits are really funny because I was on the computer one day looking at pictures of Zach Bagans. Now, everyone who knows me knows that I'm attracted to Zach Bagans. So, one time on an EVP, a spirit said, why are you flirting with Zach Bagans? I'm going to hit him. You're, like really, really a jealousy there. And so there are spirits that become attached to you. And I've even had spirits say, you're going to be my new wife, or I'm going to meet you in the afterworld. I've also had demons ask me, would I be their bride? No. So, this is so interesting. What I want to tell you is 100% there are demonic spirits. 100%. It's not a myth. It's not make-believe. I have heard them. I have photographed some of them. I don't feel really afraid of them because I've been a praying person my entire life. I mean, really, like, I pray every single day. And they have no dominion over you as long as you have that power of prayer. And with me, I have the Holy Spirit. So a lot of times, demons will come across on my EVPs and they will say, I can't get to you because of the Holy Spirit. And I know this, and I'm so glad for that. But every time they come through, they lie, they're deceptive, they tell you things that are completely false, always with the intent of scaring you, making you worried, intimidating you. And so I'm a very strong person because I've been doing spiritual work for a long time. But if you're a weak person and you go ghost hunting and you try to conjure spirits and you come in contact with a demonic spirit, being inexperienced, you are going to have bad luck. You are going to have depression. You are not going to know that that spirit is going to constantly be talking to you, telling you you are not enough, you're never going to make it, you might as well kill yourself, your dog is going to die, your family's going to die, something's going to happen to you. They're going to tell you the worst possible things, and you're going to be thinking, where did these thoughts come from? Because you can't see them, but they are speaking to you constantly, trying to bring you down. It is a real thing. Also, some people do become possessed, and it is very easy to become possessed. And I have actually had spirits when I've gone out to do sessions with people that still want to live or feel physical things. I've had them enter my body, and I knew that they were in me because my personality would change to things like suddenly I'd start listening to music that I never listened to. I like my house to be clean and tidy at all times. When my cousin Angie died, we were basically around the same age. She was a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 years older than me. But we grew up together like sisters. Well, she was an alcoholic and had some drug issues, so she died and drowned in her bathtub at age 43. When they called me and told me that she had passed away, I wasn't surprised because for a good 20 years she was always in some kind of crisis with her alcoholism, things like that. So the first thing that happened, even before I knew that she had passed away, is I started to sing this song that I've never sung before. But every day I was singing the song Almost Lover. And I would hum it and I would begin to sing it. And I wasn't really sure what the song was, but I would carry the melody. Then I became kind of like strange, like instead of being tidy and having everything in place in my house, I started to just slack off on everything in my house. My house became messy. And her mother had called me and told me that she passed away and wanted me to come up there and get her rings and get a little vial that was amethyst that had her ashes in it. And so I did do that, and I brought the stuff home. Well, after that, I had taken a picture, and the weird thing is, in one of those pictures, my face looked like my cousin. I mean, it was as if her face had just transferred onto mine. And for a couple of weeks, I couldn't clean my house. Now, she was notorious for never cleaning her house. She was like a pack rat that would have everything stacked all over the floor, messy all the time. And finally, I had to say, hey, Angie, get out of my body. You cannot live through me. You cannot live through me. And I felt her personality trying to live through me. And I've been to the cemetery before where all of a sudden I would just start changing my radio station and listening to something else. I would have to think about, or I would think about things that I've never thought about, or take on habits, new projects that I had never taken on before. And I would say, I know this came from that person that I was just at their grave. And so now I use that to my advantage, and I will say, teach me what you know. Don't possess me, but teach me what you know. If you can give me advice, if you can make me better at something, share your knowledge with me. And then now I feel like there's times that having spirit contact actually enhances my life and enhances me. Um, I always have spirits tell me things that are going to happen in the next couple of days. Sometimes it's good, but then sometimes I wish they would never tell me, because they will tell me something that's absolutely true that's going to happen. And I'll think, my gosh, I don't want that to happen. Or they'll get my hopes up and they'll tell me something like, a certain person is going to contact you. We've set it up. And then I'll be like all excited. And then I'm waiting, but they don't say when it's going to happen. So I just never know. But I love doing this type of work, and I hope that my spiritual messages help you to understand um, about contacting spirits. I'm so happy that I've had a couple of families that let me do sessions where I contacted their loved ones. That was so important to me. I had one woman whose daughter was brutally murdered, and some of her comments are posted to my Facebook and also my Twitter X account, and their testimonials are on there. And then I love it when a spirit tells me something and then a family can confirm what was said. So I was doing a session for a military person who was a casualty of war. And the mother had contacted me. And one of the things that her son had said to me was, I remember my mother's hair. And when he said that, I wasn't exactly sure how he meant it, but I relayed that message to the mother. And then she told me that she was Native American, and so she had very long braids for most of her life. But when her son was killed in the war, she cut off her braids and she put them in the casket. And so she was really happy that he said that he remembered her hair. And also he said he was upset that there was no beer in heaven. And I told her that, and she said, oh, he was such a beer lover. He loved beer. And so she laughed because she said, that's my son, exactly. And so they thanked me for doing the readings. And I love it when I can make contact like that and it's confirmed by the family. I feel like I'm doing a spiritual service for those families, and it's so important to my heart. Please know that I will never fake any of my work. I will never embellish it. What you see on my page is absolutely disembodied spirit voices, and they are coming through exactly as they are presented. And so I hope that helps you to understand a few things about spiritual contact. And I would probably never go investigate a prison or a mental asylum, just because the type of personalities that were in those places were psychotic, were narcissists, were mentally ill, were murderers, rapists, really dark spirits. And you have to remember that when you contact this type of spirit, it is most likely going to follow you and maybe even have a lifetime attachment to you. And so I'm very choosy about what type of spirit that I try to channel. Now, sometimes I don't have a choice, they just come through anyway. And when I worked at a prison hospital, every day of that job, prisoners were dying in the hospital. And I can't tell you how many EVPs that I've had come through where they've said, I was an inmate at the hospital. I died, you were there. Thank you for the way that you treated me. I've also had many spirits of doctors, nurses, and other patients from the hospital constantly say, I came from the hospital, you used to work at the hospital. They're always talking to me on my EVPs. I've had a lot of spirits that I've contacted tell me I'm living with you now. And they are, because if you listen to some of the beginning and the end of my videos that I've made, a lot of times I cut it out. You can hear the whispering or the chattering. And I'm trying to save some of those for y'all so that you can hear it yourself and know that it's not the TV, it's not the radio. I have everything turned off. But I want you to help me. So when I post those clips, they're usually little short clips that have some kind of chattering or voices in it. Please tell me that you hear that so that I know that I'm not the only one hearing it, that you also hear it. And so even when I'm not trying to conjure spirits, even when I'm not trying to make contact, they are always trying to make contact with me. And so it's not that my house is haunted, it's me. It is me that they are interested in. They know that I can hear them. They know that I can help them. They are always around me, trying to get into the portal and be heard. So hopefully as time goes by, I'll be able to share more and more work with you. I only opened my Facebook page, I think April of 2024, and my Twitter page was just open, I think the beginning of August 2024. So I don't have a lot of followers yet, but I'm trying. And hopefully I'll grow. And I hope that my page is entertaining to you. And I hope that you learn something. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday night. And I know you're busy and you've got things to do. But thank you so much for following my page. I really appreciate every single one of you. Bye.